Star Report. I am your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Folks, this is a tea sipper special emergency broadcast, okay? Tahiry Jose, she got triggered by the Cassie video, and she went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and she said some things. She's getting dragged. My homie Joe Budden has responded. It looks like Joe kind of dumbed out. But I have to keep that same energy with regards to Tahiry, because some of you may not know she was beaten like a slave once upon a time. And I don't know if Joe Budden really ever put hands on her. I mean, she has said it, and he went along with it, to my knowledge, but I've never seen any video footage. And for those of you who don't know, Joe and Tahiry were the original Love and Hip Hop couple. Before Love and Hip Hop ever came on, they were filming themselves in these little relationship, segments, and posted on social media. This is well over maybe 15 years ago. So that's where the concept, if you ask me, for Love and Hip Hop came from. And there was an episode that I want to make a reference to this evening. But again, I want to keep the same energy with regards to Tahiry, and I don't want to make fun of the fact that she was beaten once upon a time, but not by Joe Budden. Let me take you back to 2014. For those of you who may not know, she was beaten up so bad that she was hospitalized. She was at a fashion show, New York Fashion Week to be precise. A male model by the name of Carlos Fiasco, okay, you can Google this, and there's another article that says Carlos Gonzalez, and there's another article that says Charles Suggs, S-U-G-G-S. So I don't know what this guy's name really was, but he was arrested, he was charged, he copped out. Tahiry was wearing a neck brace. Again, this is 2014, and then somewhere around 2015, she sued him. I'm not sure what happened. So Tahiry was the victim of violence at the hands of a male. Now, let me also say this. I've never met Tahiry. I have taken shots at her in the past. Yes, I have. To my knowledge, she's never disrespected me, so I'm not going to, try and clown her pain, her trauma. Born in 1979, okay, she's close to 50, a Taurus, and she's Dominican. Now that's a recipe for disaster. So let me go back to the early installment, and some of you who remember Joe Budden and Tahiry when they were filming themselves. There was an episode where Tahiry came home, and again, this wasn't on quote unquote television. This was them filming themselves. And Tahiry, some guy punched her in the face, and I think her nose was broken. She was a bartender somewhere. I think it was in the Bronx. I'm not sure. And they were talking. Now, Joe didn't run up to the establishment where she worked and, aired out the nine. He was talking to her and saying, "What did you do to cause this?" So their relationship has been strained. I would imagine lust-filled. A lot of times when you're young and you're involved, and whether it's love, whether it's lust, whether it's infatuation, you tend to get it in. So is Tahiry the type of person who brings that type of energy to her? And I say that respectfully. I have a certain type of energy. I attract lowlifes in my personal dealings. For some reason, many of you know this throughout my media journey. I tend to attract lowlifes, scandalous bitches, and all sorts of things. Does she attract a certain type of person? Is she mouthy? And again, not to clown her, she was the victim of a severe beating. And I'm not sure what happened with that lawsuit, but again, going back to 2014, 15, she was wearing a neck brace. And there's another episode, I think, of, I saw parts of this. I don't think it was Love and Hip Hop, or was it, guys? Troll Babies, good evening. Where rapper Vado, it looked like Tahiry was instigating or threw something at him. Either way, she did, as I said, get triggered by the response that Joe Budden took with regards to the Diddy apology, right? And the video of Cassie getting stomped on by Diddy, aka Sean Combs. Now, I'm not going to read through everything, but this is what Tahiry said, the real Tahiry. This whole shit took me out. So hard to watch. So sorry for Cassie and every other woman who is currently going through it or has ever gone through it. It's tough. Now, there were 26 replies to that particular post. And you guys are going to have to help me with the timeline here. Then it looked like Joe Budden clapped back a damn near a 3-paragraph post. Or did Tahiry bring his name into this first? She then somewhere said after that post, okay, the one that I just read, fuck out of here. Who? Question mark, question mark, question mark. The irony, this is so triggering. I remember Joey, okay, she said Joe Bud, Joey throwing me down a flight of stairs, dragging me back into the house, and me having to talk him into letting me go. Now, again, I've never seen the video, and you guys today, you're on this thing where, if we can't see proof, it didn't happen. Okay. Now, was it really violence on Joe's part, or was it just two young people, in love, the point of selflessness, and sexually a sexually fueled relationship? Okay, phone lines open right now. This is a T-Sipper special. Hold on a second. And Killer, are you out there? My alleged daughter, Killer, I want you to call in tonight. Get at these niggas because they've got your name in their mouths. M-O-U-F-S, mouths. I spoke to her briefly today, but niggas were in the last broadcast saying that Killer is a hoagie away from a stroke, okay? All right, so that's my main topic this evening. Tahiry gets triggered by Cassie Ventura video. And I believe she was triggered. But again, she was beaten by this guy with all these different alias names. And does she ever mention this guy, or does she just always seem to bring it back to Joe Budden? Is she clout chasing? I would tend to think so. Is she trying to stay relevant? I hate that term. Oh, trying to stay relevant. Maybe she is triggered by other beatings. Troll babies, did J.R. Smith from the New York Knicks, did he put hands on Tahiry? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not accusing him. I know they smashed for a hot minute. Okay, so that's my main topic, all right? Showrunner Marilyn Mosby sentenced to home detention. Marilyn Mosby, former prosecutor Marilyn Mosby, state's attorney for Baltimore. She got 12 months. The sentencing came down earlier today. Some of you may or may not have seen it. Served concurrently with 3 years of supervised release for mortgage and fraud perjury. And she's also was ordered to complete 100 hours of community service, according to the judgment. Now, I watched the press conference after, she came out of court. She looks like she has been losing weight, maybe due to the stress. To her credit, she did not have the Beyonce weave in, right? She was dressed in white. Her husband was there, who was at the root of the whole issue and problem as to why she committed fraud, perjury, and so on and so forth. Her daughters played a part in the decision. I do believe that in the home detention, as opposed to giving her quote unquote jail time. I was hoping for a couple of years, to be honest with you. And that's because she is, a public official. You have to hold them to a higher standard. You have to. But she had the whole black swag going on. Oh, you had Benjamin Crump, and he's holding her hand, and they're all chanting something. I forget what the fuck they were chanting. And then you had, oh my goodness, Angela Rye. Now she's going to be popping her collar over this victory, if you will, right? Troll babies, what is going on with Angela Rye's hair? She looks like Wolfman, and she's got on the thick Coke bottle glasses. Thank God, there is no God, but thank God she didn't speak for that long. Oh, she got a couple of words in, and they're on the hunt now for donations. Our work is not done, yada, yada, yada. Guys, how do you feel? How do you feel? Is this another slap in the face for men, those of us who want women to be held accountable? No accountability. No accountability. Marilyn Mosby has always said she's not guilty. She didn't do nothing wrong. That's cap. She did. She was convicted. She was convicted. But now she may get a pardon from Sleepy Joe Biden. I don't know. But I do want you guys to chime in. What are your thoughts? Is this another example? Is this a win for black women? Or is it the continuation of no accountability? All right. Give me a second. I'll make sure we're all set up here. I had a great day. For anybody who gives a shit, I planted 2 lime trees today. And something happened that kind of threw me off. One of the squirrels in my yard jumped on my leg to I guess, to cuddle. It really, hold on, let me write this down. It really weirded me out, because I like to keep all animals at a distance. I feed you and all that sort of shit, but let's not do the whole, cuddling a connection thing. We'll talk about that later, okay? All right, Killer, where are you? Okay, Killer, I'm going to get you on the line here because niggas is talking hella crazy, and she says she stands firm on what she said with regards to Cameron and the shot and the price, yada, yada, yada. Spanky Bighead got your donation. So what about the dude that broke Tahiry's nose in the club, or the woman she attacked a few years ago? Okay, you've got to educate me, Spanky Bighead, because I never got that guy's name who supposedly broke her nose in the club. Was that a strip club? She was a bartender, yes, and she came home, and I remember Joe talking to her, very mild, and saying, well, what did you do? Did you cause this? But I'm not here to clown Tahiry tonight. No, I want to get to the bottom of things. Two-Tone got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Started you see Marilyn Mosby? Yes. That was a slap on the wrist. One of her daughters, both of her daughters spoke very well. One of them said she wants to become a prosecutor. So yeah, we're going to be discussing the whole how it played out. Okay. Okay. And hey, Shanice, I got your donation. Shanice, you're going to have to call in. I don't want to steer that conversation on Marilyn Mosby. I've already said I wanted to see her do jail time, but I don't have a black daughter. So but so far I can go, I can't make it personal. Okay. But thank you for your donation. Area code 929. Good evening. This is a Tea Sipper special. Are you there? 9-2.
Yeah, good evening, Star. How you doing?
I'm doing, sir. Life is great. Where do you want to start?
Speak about. I think Tahiry's chasing a bag, man.
Yeah. We all are.
100%. Because
we all are. But now
no, of course we are.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Sorry. What you said? Is she? What's the question he's going to ask?
Is she desert thirsty? I mean, to my knowledge, she never, talks about the guy who she sued. Did she ever sue Joe Budden? I mean, they were on Love and Hip Hop and my homie Rocky Thunder. They were all, I think it may have been some type of storyline. But why does she never talk about the guy who really beat her? Why is it always Joe?
I don't know. Maybe she's what's that clause you have where you keep a hush where you right. You got to keep a mouth
part of the settlement.
I forgot the name of it. Yeah, part of a settlement. Yeah. She got to keep it. She have to some hush money or whatever it is. But my thing is this: if she's talking about Joe Budden, she should bring up that guy's name most definitely, because that was it made news and everything. So I don't know why she's going after Joe Budden. And like you said,
It's Budden, sir. There's no S on the end. There's no S on the end of his name. People always say Buddens. Budden, go ahead.
But yeah. Right. I apologize. You're right.
It's fine. I'm just trying to help you along. Go ahead.
So I'll just say Joe Budden. So Joe Budden, right? Like, I mean, why drag Joe Budden for when you could drag the guy that actually physically had you in the hospital, put you in the neck brace? You know, It wasn't alleged. It was, it was something that was factual. So I don't get why she want to talk about Joe right now. Maybe because Joe podcast is like really popping. I don't know.
Well, no, yes, he is. He's popping like Jiffy Pop on a Friday night. But I mean, to be fair, yes, she was probably triggered. I'm not trying to make light of the situation because there's other people that are coming out now against Diddy and a whole bunch of folks. So I'm just, I'm chopping it up on some messy tea sipper stuff tonight. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Listen, that's what the night's about, man. So it's a tea sipper special. So what I'll say is she's clout chasing, man.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay. Marilyn Mosby, are you up to speed? She was sentenced today, home detention, no jail time. Are you up to speed?
No, I'm not up to speed with her.
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't know she got sentenced today.
Yeah.
But if she is, I believe she'll get a pardon from Joe Biden.
I hope not. I hope not.
Why do you hope not? Why you say that?
I want to see her law license taken away, and I want to see her on YouTube with the rest of us.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for the call, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you are Kid Crab, man.
Yeah.
Have a good
yes,
night,
sir. Thank you. Yeah. Did they take away her license yet, Marilyn Mosby? Glizzy Hendricks, I see you, my nigga. Glizzy, did they take away Marilyn Mosby's license, a law license? Okay, Deeds tapping. Deeds says star Tahiri also got choked out by Votto on Marriage Boot Camp. Okay, that's what the name of that show was, Marriage Boot Camp. But now, didn't she throw something at Votto in the kitchen? I could have swore, she set that off. Oh, wait a minute. Is this Killer? Is this my alleged daughter? Hold on. Let's kill these niggas talking hella crazy about you, Killer. You coming into... Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me send her the link. Number 9 with... What is that donation there? Hold on a second, guys. Number 9 with the lights out. Star, remember when Hollow Didon wanted all the smoke with Joe over Tahiry when they... Yeah. It's my nigga, Hollow Didon. Thank you for your donation. Let me bring in area code. I'm looking for a female, somebody who really, really knows this tea from back in the days with Tahiry. Okay, that was just insane. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me block that idiot. Jesus. Sheesh. Area code 562. Good evening. Tea Sipper Special. The Chatty Patty Hour. Are you there? 5, 6,
Hello?
2. Yes.
What's up?
What's up, sir? How are you?
So let me talk about Tahiri real quick.
Please.
So the thing with Tahiri and Joe, people forget that Joe Budden, he was in a BET cipher a few years ago, right, with Slaughterhouse.
Okay.
Remember when Royce the 5'9" was like, he said in the cipher, "Hey, don't ask me about Joe. I beat my girl too."
Oh.
So yeah, go watch that Slaughterhouse BET cipher.
Stop. Royce the 5'9" said that in a bar? What did he say it again?
He said it in a bar, and Joe Budden turned his face. In that BT cipher, he said, "Don't ask me about Joe. I beat my girl too." Joe has a history.
Hang on, troll babies. Are we dragging Royce to 5'9"? Can somebody please find that clip? Go ahead, sir. You were saying, go ahead.
Yes.
Shoo, shit.
I watched the clip earlier today. I'm not making that shit up.
Send me the link.
Excuse my language.
Send me the link.
I'm not making that up.
Sir. Send me the link via email. Go ahead. Continue.
So, and then let's not forget, what about that Esther Baxter stuff? Supposedly, Joe sat on her chest, and that caused her to miscarry.
Well,
like,
can you send me the link to that video, sir? Esther Baxter was on my show and beautiful headlights. But if there's no video, there's no police report, she didn't sue him. We have to just say, allegedly. Maybe it didn't happen. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Allegedly, but at the same time, Joe was wild back then. I get it. Young money, growing up, coming across a lot of women. That's a party life. But Tahiry, at the end of the day, if she felt, Joe, you did something to her, she has the right to carry that. Now, is she bringing it up for trying to attach her name to Cassie for more clout? Yes, I believe.
Cassie, sir, not Casey. Cassie, go ahead.
No, Cassie. Cassie, my fault.
It's okay.
I believe so, but your actions in the past did give her a chance to try to tie that situation. It's one of those ifs, ands, or buts. It goes back to, especially on Joe's podcast, a lot of his fans was like, why are you not talking about Diddy? Why are you not saying this about Diddy? You're avoiding this hip-hop topic. But then as soon as he opens his mouth...
Now, hang on a second. Now, I did see Joe go in on Diddy because if you remember, A State of the Culture was Joe's creation, and that was on Revolt TV. So now, did they clash? I heard Joe talking about when he and Diddy first sat down. Diddy just said, "Don't throw anything, and don't put hands on anybody." But Joe was giving him that work, wasn't he? Calling him names and shit, piece of shit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But from his fan base, a lot of my friends are patrons to his Joe Budden podcast. They love that man.
Yeah.
But
he's the best of the best. He's the voice of the culture. He's the voice of the culture. I fuck with him heavy. I'm going on his show next month. But go ahead. Let's get back to the bullshit. It's a late night tea sipper special. Tahiry, what is she doing now? Joe said he bought a mattress from her. Is she like a Walmart manager? Where is she selling mattresses?
I don't know. I tried to look it up. I was like, where did this come from? What mattresses? Like, I literally did a Google search. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm missing something. Is this an inside joke? Like, is this the code for something else?
No.
Like, what else she's selling?
No, hang on. I got Joe's long ass goddamn. I think this is either X or Instagram. Where he says, last time I saw you, I bought a mattress from you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm rambling.
Yeah. I mean, hey, sometimes these dudes be saying inside jokes to each other. I'm like, what are y'all talking about, man? But Joe, again, if somebody did you wrong, especially abusive situation, now you're not mentioning another person who did you worse, but that could be tied to the fact that they're not as popular as Joe, which is true. Right.
Well, hey, so before you go, you sound like you're in the know when it comes to the tea. The guy who beat her, I've got 3 different names going back to 2014 at the Fashion Week where she was getting ready to go on the runway. Getting ready. I've got the name Charles Suggs. I've got Carlos Gonzalez, pardon me. And then I've got a different name here. Got 3 different goddamn names. Carlos Fiasco. Are you familiar with that whole incident that happened?
I know it was a Carlos. The last name, I can't tell you. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
I'm not even going to front.
All right.
But it was nice talking to you, man.
Yes,
thanks for hearing me out.
Thank you so much. Salute. Okay. All right. Killer, sit tight. I see you. Killer's coming on. Yeah. Back in 2014. right before she was set to walk the runway. The Tahiry Designs fashion show. Carlos allegedly accosted Tahiry verbally, and then when she warned him about disrespecting her, he snapped. He repeatedly struck her several times and then drug her by her hair, according to the urbandaily.com, and that it took 8 men to pull him off of her. This nigga went ape shit. She went to Lenox Hospital. Whoo, chow. Okay, killer, you can't smoke on the screen. Stop it. Stop it. It's my alleged daughter. What's going on, girl? We can't hear you.
Why are you yelling, Pops? Why are you yelling? I didn't even have.
Well, because you can't smoke on screen. I'm yelling, goddamn. This is my business.
Oh, hi.
Your
Pops.
microphone
How
sounds
are you?
crazy. Killer, good to see you. But your microphone sounds crazy. What's going on with the gain?
I turned it in. What you want me to do? That's good.
That's a little better. A little louder. Come on.
That's better.
There you go.
Come on. What?
So look, we spoke earlier. I said, girl, you're doing the damn thing.
Right. And now we gotta start off like this with this energy. What happened? What's up, Pops? I thought you had a good day. You sipping your teleport? What's happening?
Listen. You have to go into the comments and tell people come to your channel.
Nah, tell them niggas fuck all of them. I don't want none of them over there with me. I told you that earlier. Fuck these niggas. And I sent you the receipts that you need to tell these niggas I ain't got to lie about a mother nothing thing. Nothing.
Okay.
I don't gotta lie.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me go to what you sent me. Something about what is this? Explain the receipt, please. I'm looking at it right now.
The receipt is the post directly from the It Is What It Is show.
Pink Horsepower.
That is apparently Cameron's drink that he was promoting the night he was on the CNN show.
Okay.
It shows you the amount that the bottle goes for. Do you see the amount?
Well, it says $400 sold out. That doesn't specify that each bottle costs $400.
No. In the description, if you read it fully,
go ahead.
It says they sold 1 million bottles.
I don't see that. Okay, wait. Here. If you don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Okay, Pink Horsepower sold out over 1 million jars sold in less than 24 hours. Okay.
That part.
Okay.
And the price is right there, $400. So
okay. Now you see, if you tell people to come to your platform, then you can, gain some traffic. I want you to benefit from calling in. You know this. I spoke here earlier. Okay, I don't want to waste time on that. That's an old story now. Tahiry, do you remember her going through what she went through back in 2014, or do you have any receipts on her and Joe Budden actually getting it in?
Actually getting it in, no. And I did the research that you told me to do. I came up with the Gonzalez guy. The only thing I was thrown off by is he was the one who attacked her, and he was the producer of the show.
Damn. Okay.
So I found that odd. I'm trying to figure out how that even, transpired.
Well, she sued him. Did she get a bag?
No, she didn't get a bag.
Okay.
From what they told me, somebody sued her and got a bag from her. I'm trying to verify that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, if the lawsuit didn't settle, if it just was, thrown out or whatever, then why doesn't she talk about this guy? Why is it always Joe Budden? Is she trying to get back on television with Joe Budden? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, when I got to digging and trying to figure that out, I came across the fact that she has a whole podcast nobody knew about.
Oh.
I'm confused as to why.
Can you send me a link? Not that I'm going to just. Can you send me a link? Send me a link.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else we need to know about that's trending? Any news?
Chef G popping out at Trump. He popped out at Trump rally over there in the Bronx and Crotona Park. Said, "Make America great again." I guess he's trying to get a pardon from Trump. I don't really know how that worked, but you know,
I don't think that's trending, but
trending right now. No, this is out of here, Pops. This is right now. It's number one in the world. Chef G at the Trump rally.
Okay, so you have to send me links before you bring this to the microphone. You didn't
give me a chance to, and this Chef G thing just literally took off right before I came up here.
Send me a link. Great to see you. What's your new channel? What's your new channel before you go?
Killer Daily. Killer Daily. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll get the link for you.
Okay. Great to see you.
All right, Pops. Later.
Bye now. Okay. Guys, sit tight on the phones. Elvis the Chef Rosenberg, sit tight, so I'm going to send you the link. Marilyn Mosby sentenced to home detention. Anybody care? I think that you should. I mean, it's not that serious to me, but the fact that she got no jail time. No jail time. Okay, and thank you for the link, guys. Someone sent me, okay, this is Royster59. I'll check that out a little bit later. The cipher with Yellow Wolf, Joe Budden, Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alex. I got your email. Runaway Slave sends in a donation. Thank you for your support. Just watch the clip with Royce BET Cipher 2011. Whoa, okay, Joe stepped into the camera when Royce said the bar like they practiced it. They practiced it. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Hip Hop Anonymous, I got your donation. Star, I just needs, this is Ebonics, to tell meet. Okay, so I can't read that. Thank you for the donation. English, please. It's a little hard to read. Okay. Let's go to area code 272. Good evening. Tea Sipper Special. Tahiry. Triggered over the Cassie video. Are you up to speed?
Yeah, I'm up to speed. Hey, Star, see all caps. We don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but remember, years ago, she went to Jason Lee, Hollywood. And she was saying stuff about Joe. If you go back and look at that episode back a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, she went to Jason Lee and broke a story on Hollywood about Joe Budden and said, Joe was doing this and that, right? Mm-hmm. Joe and Jason Lee was beefing over that because Joe said, you could have called me and asked me before even going to her for that interview and stuff like that. Now, Joe, remember, she did that. And remember, she went on Love and Hip Hop when Tahiri was on it, when Tahiri was pregnant with Joe. Mm-hmm. When Tahiri went back on the show with Sin. Because remember, Joe was messing with Sin. At the time, Sin was pregnant. And if you remember, on that reunion, they kept them all distance from each other. So I know that part, Joe probably not lying. But she been trying to get at Joe, and now she got a podcast. You see her. Between her and the other girl, or every time you turn around, they keep saying something. And Joe's current girlfriend just came out and said something. He never did that to me. He never got loud. She just came out today and said something.
Now, hang on a second. Didn't Joe have a baby with Sin? Her name is Sin?
Yeah. He got son by son. Yeah.
Okay. And
remember,
well, hang on, sir, because I don't remember all of this. I wasn't really like a Love and Hip Hop watcher like that. But now, did Rocky Thunder, who I know very well, did Rocky and Tahiri almost get it in on Love and Hip Hop?
Yes, they was beefing. Okay, them two was the first two to beef. Them two was beefing over Joe because of her relationship with Joe, and then she felt that Tahiri stepped in and made Joe stop being cool with her. And them two started beefing. Right.
And then you fast forward, Joe and Tahiry go their separate ways. They break up. You ain't hear nothing. You ain't never hear her say nothing. Yes, was Joe accused of something? Yes, he said it. He said he went to court. Case got dropped, dismissed. We don't know what female they talking about, but if you go back, and that's why.
Well, hang on, sir. You are in the know with the tea. So just I'm going to take your word for it. Don't tell me to go look at this and look at that. Your word is good. So hold on. Now I've never seen video footage of Joe and Tahiry, squaring up. Do you remember years ago? This had to be over 15 years ago when she came home telling Joe that she got punched in the face at the job. Was she a bartender then?
Yeah, she had 2 jobs. She was a bartender. She worked at IHOP in North Bergen. Damn,
you got all the tea. Shit. But now, where did she get punched in the face? I thought that wasn't IHOP. Was that Harry's Triangle, Al's Wedge? Where was she working there?
Yeah, she was somewhere where she told Joe to do, I guess, her mouth or whatever, and the dude punched her in the mouth, and then she said something to Joe. And Joe at the time,
I thought he punched her in the nose.
He talked about it.
They punched her in the nose.
Yeah, Joe approached the person because he talked. That's the thing. Everything that she says, Joe talked about on all his podcasts. Back in the early days, he talked about everything. He even talked about, he said he was wilding at one time. He talked about him being on the drugs and shit. He was out of his mind. He talked about everything. But her coming out and saying, oh, Joe beat me and all that, nah. All of a sudden, you want to come out because you got a podcast.
You're saying cap. You're saying cap.
Yeah, she definitely cap. Because if hypothetically, we 2 grown men, right? If hypothetically he did this to you, right? You would have never went to Love and Hip Hop and wanted to do it with him.
I don't know about that.
I'm not doing it.
Well, Love and Hip Hop is looking for anybody to come on and just, be willing to exploit themselves.
But if you watch the show, how she was acting with him, like she still wanted him, and he kept pushing her back on the show. He kept like, nah, chill. And that's when Sin had words with Tahiry and shit like that. And then she said what she said. And that was it. We never heard nothing from Tahiry until she went on Jason Lee and she said, oh, and she started saying shit about her. But previous...
All right, now hang on, sir. You're doing good, but just please watch the profanity. Please. You're doing good.
So when she did...
Hang on. I want to go back. So Joe approached the guy prior to Love and Hip Hop even coming on about punching Tahiry in the nose. Joe approached him?
Yes.
What happened? I forget.
Yes.
What happened?
Joe told the story a while ago. This is when he had Rory and Mar on the show.
Okay.
And Mar was with him at that time. He approached the dude.
Oh.
And Mar said at that time, Mar was like, Mar knew who the dude was, so he didn't let him and Joe fight. Mar just basically escalated the situation between them because they talked about it on the show when Marv was on.
Okay, can you tell me, sir? I don't remember what happened.
Yeah. So Rory brought it up. Rory's like, yo, so how did that situation go in the club? Joe was like, yeah, I ran into him. I had words.
Sir, what was said between Joe and the guy? Just get to the point. Never mind Rory and Mal. I fuck with both of them heavy. Joe never said what was said. Joe said he approached him and he seen him and was about to get ugly. And then that's when Marv was on the podcast with them. And Marv was like, come on, Joe. He was like, I ain't gonna let you do my man like that and stuff like that. He's like, but it could have, but I wasn't gonna allow it to happen. He was like, I know the person, and that was it. So the guy didn't explain to Joe Budden why he punched Tahiry. He didn't explain, hey man, she tried to beat me. She took some money off the bar. He didn't go into detail.
Nope, he didn't go into details or nothing. He said he just seen him.
Gotcha.
And they had words. That was it.
Okay.
But if you remember too,
No, sir, I don't remember. Please stop saying I don't remember. I don't remember, my nigga.
She was on Marriage. she was on that marriage couple boot camp, and when she threw the apple at what's name, got violence on the show, and people started calling her out.
Yeah, I've already covered that, sir. Listen, thank you, man. I'm gonna get back to the T. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Was that me? I'm trying to get to what was said, and he's taking me over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. Troll babies. Well, did Joe Budden speak to the guy who punched Tahiry? I'm 60. I don't remember what the fuck I had for lunch today. Hold on a second. Okay. Hey, Shanice. Yeah, Shanice, I've already addressed that. That was a big misunderstanding. I have not spoke to Queen's Flip. However, I got word that he does rent to black people. His 3 condos in Portmore, Jamaica. Okay? Someone sent me a donation saying, why doesn't your buddy Queen's Flip rent his condos in Portmore to black people? I have no knowledge, but then someone who I did, speak to said, no, he does rent to black people. Okay. But thank you for your donation. Hold on a second, guys. I got to make sure I'm promoting my sponsors. Skylar Saunders, where are you, sir? Are you tapping in? I got your new video from my community section. I'll get that popping for you early tomorrow morning. Let's get Skylar's information on the screen there, guys. This is a tea sipper special tonight. The Chatty Patty Hour. Okay. Go, I got your donation and your email. Okay, thank you. Okay. Guys, okay, I've got the Royster 59 cipher. Please, no more. No more emails. Okay. Well, listen, I mean, thank you, Blade. I'm aware that was it the SWAT team or that raided Sean Kingston's home that he's renting somewhere in Florida? Sean Kingston been scamming. He been getting watches and doesn't pay for them. He's got all sorts of fucking judgments against him. I did see his mother in handcuffs. I don't know if his mother is the ringleader, but Sean Kingston been doing that type of shit. Let's go to area code 201. 201. Is that who I think it is? Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe 2000. Peace, Star. What's going on?
Peace. What's cracking with you, man?
Nothing much. So, your man that just was on the phone, I don't know that TV stuff, so I don't know if he was wrong or right about the Tahiri and the Joe Budden.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to connect no dots, but on Fordham Road, there used to be this place called Jimmy's Bronx Cafe.
Yes,
right?
I know it well. Yes.
So, all right. So they turned one half of the building into the BBQs, and the other half at the time, this was at that time, it used to be this place called Sofa Lounge, and then it turned into X Bar, or X Bar, and into Sofa Lounge. And Tahiri worked there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He did business there. So I used to frequent the place, and, she was there. Now, there were times where she was sweet, and there were times where she was a loudmouth. Then, like the story goes, one day somebody mollywopped her in her mouth. Now, I say all of that to say, I listen to Joe Budden. I like his podcast.
He's the best. He's the best of the best.
Yeah, it's very influential.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I say that to say, pimps and hoes, lames and squares. Is it bad for a man to hit a woman? Yes. But are you in that environment? Are you putting yourself in that position to be hit in the face? Now, here we talking about 4 known people that have whooped her ass. And we're talking about one girl. Now, is this the same thing as the Cassie and Diddy situation? No, it is not.
Okay.
Cassie is not of that cloth where she's talking shit to men. She's not aggressively throwing. She's not throwing punches at men like a man.
Okay.
When you put yourself in that position and you are dealing with people at night, and like Joe said, yo, you are a failed con woman, a failed gold digger from Dykeman.
Right. I saw that.
I know Dykeman. I know Dykeman very well.
So
Dykeman after dark.
So do I.
Peligro sport happens up in Dykeman.
Right.
You know, so you're dealing with, when you're dealing with these certain types of people in these certain types of atmospheres. I remember you had a show a while back saying, you know, pimps and hoes, and can the two intersect with squares and lanes about love? And I
have to jump in, Rob Lowe. Stay with me. But now you see, I cannot call Tahiry a hoe. I have no knowledge of that, and let's not put that label on her if you don't have knowledge. That could be slander. Let's slow it down. And I don't know Joe Budden to have been her pimp, so let's not put her in that category.
No.
Hang on, sir. Hang on. You've said it a few times. I need to make it clear. She's not a hoe, to my knowledge, and if you don't have that knowledge, let's stop, trying to make that analogy. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You're right.
But now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to let you finish. She was beaten by this guy, Carlos, who's got 3 different goddamn names. Carlos Gonzalez, Carlos Fiasco, and then another name, something Chubbs. So let's go with the fact that she has been traumatized at one point in time. Whether Joe Budden put hands on her like that, I don't know. But let me ask you a question. Joe has been very transparent with his drug use, as have I. Has Tahiry ever admitted to doing ecstasy back in those days? What was the reason, if any, for all of the tussling back and forth with her and Joe? I don't know.
Well, let me be clear, and let me state that I'm not calling her a hoe either. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is when you put yourself in those type of environments. But her and drugs, I don't know either.
Okay.
Hey, listen, Joe Budden has said stuff about his use or not use. I don't know. I never seen the man do that stuff, and that's not to say that he did or he didn't.
Right.
But when those things are in the mix.
Hello?
Hustling.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Your phone went out, but go ahead. You're saying, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your phone keeps going in and out, Rob, but go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm on the road. All right. So what I'm saying is that there's a formula, there's a mix. When you're in these environments, bad things can happen. Yeah. But with this particular girl, and not just her, she's not the only one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these women that put themselves in the position of men, and they buck off, they talk, they say things. Not every man can sit there and be hit.
That's a fact.
Not every man can sit there and take certain types of language from people.
Right.
And when you do that to the wrong person, you're going to end up in a situation. You're going to get tossed. You're going to get thrown. I think I saw something where she said something about getting thrown downstairs. That will happen.
Mm-hmm.
That will happen when you put yourself in these positions.
Yeah.
And I
agree.
think what it is that Joe Budden has gotten himself together.
Mm-hmm.
He's making money. He's in a good position. And sometimes, people can't stand that. They become agitated, especially women, when, she had the chance to be by his side.
Right.
She turned him down.
Yeah.
Thought that she was doing herself a favor, making him look bad. He took the L. He moved on. He's in a better place. Yeah. And that agitates people.
Yeah. And he bought a mattress from her at some point. I don't know what that's
right.
about.
He said that. So he's doing what he wanted to do. She's doing what she has to do. There's a difference.
Gotcha.
There's a difference.
Okay. Hey, man, I appreciate you tapping in. Any thoughts, Rob Lowe? Marilyn Mosby, no jail time. She was sentenced today. What do you think?
Yeah. I know you wanted to go down, but hey, listen. The judge saw fit to, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say a free pass, but she got off light. She ain't the first. She ain't gonna be the last to get off light.
Let me ask you another question, Rob. Though I respect your takes at times. Did Marilyn Mosby turn on the high yellow charm and got all these niggas simping for? Very few men or males wanted her to be held accountable. A public goddamn official who should have been held to a higher standard. Did she turn on the light skin charm and these niggas out here simping for?
Well, she ain't got to turn on the light skin charm for niggas to be simping. But I will say this. There's always going to be a simp somewhere. Yeah. There's always going to be a Captain Save-A-Hole.
Right.
And whether she turned it on or not, we just live in different times, man.
Gotcha.
She should have. There's also a lot of people that they're not even, some of them aren't simping. They're just thinking like, well, white people do it too.
Right. Oh my God. That's what I hate the most. White people do it. I hate that the most. Look, man, I got to take more calls, Rob.
See, I know one last thing though, but see, black people ain't white. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I'll leave it. So salute, Star.
So, man, thank you. Yes, sir. Rob Lowe tapping in. Flip 82 sends it a donation. Okay. Big nigga. In Marilyn Mosby's statement, she said she wasn't afraid to go to jail. She just didn't have time. Does that sound familiar? Listen, did she turn on the charm? Huh? Dressed in white, she took out the Beyonce wig. She had her natural hair. Had her beautiful preteen and what I think the other one's a teenage daughter with her. Pulled on the heartstrings of the judge. Home detention. The judge did ask, were there any victims of the crime? And the prosecution said, no, that's a good question, Your Honor, but she lied to the public. She's a public official. Again, call in if you like. Timothy, I got your donation. Look here. I put my mouth all in between Killer's cheeks. I ain't talking about the cheeks on her face. These niggas tripping. Okay. Hey, Mrs. Tiffany, I got your donation. Star, Puff Bussy is going down. Okay. I'm waiting for someone to or some boy to pop out and say, "Here I go. I've been a well-kept man, but now it's time for me to tell." Because as soon as the allowance stops, the alleged allowance, then it's going to get even deeper. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, folks, we're not talking about Shine right now. You can go to my community section. We had a whole video on Shine and the allegations. Hold on a second. With regards to domestic violence. I thank you for your donation, but folks, please keep your eye on my community section. We post updates. We post not just banners and advertisements for my sponsors. We post, stories. A lot of things by way of political news and other things that I don't necessarily talk about on the show, but stay up to speed with me, okay? Okay, and Killer sent me an email. Hold on a second. I'll get to that in a second, Killer. Let me go to area code 440. Good evening. Are you there? Thursday night. This is a T-Sipper special. 440. Are you ready? In 5.
What's up with it? What's up with it?
Yes, sir. How are you?
What's up? You know, I'm good.
Okay.
What y'all talking about, man?
We're talking about boy pussy being sold, and how much you pay for it.
No, no, I don't.
Fuck out of here. What we talking about? Illiterate ass. It's on the goddamn screen. Nigga, I'm not your friend. Don't call me asking me what the fuck we talking about. 726, sit tight. This is a tea sipper special. Be ready with some tea. Okay, someone just sent me an email. Yo, your daughter don't know what she talking about. Pink House Power is only $25 per bottle. Okay, Killer, I got to send this to you right now. Killer, check your email. People are saying you're capping. You see, this is why I say to you, call in and promote your platform so they can go over there and you guys can argue, go back and forth. I'm at the planet here. Okay, young lady, no, just come on, stop. I'm busy. I've never been a sugar daddy in my life, nor will I ever be. I don't have to, you know. Nobody's flying you out and catching a fucking a trafficking charge. If you're goofy ass, then wants to claim somebody touched you. The fuck out of here. Area code 726. Good evening. Tea Sipper Special. Tahiry triggered. Are you up to speed? Yes.
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay. Hold on. I got time. Hold on. You see, that was Brooklyn Giggles. Right? That was Brooklyn Giggles. I'm not going back to the whole Brooklyn Giggles discussion. Good man. I wish him all the best. Guys, also on the screen right now, www.smartlandbuyers.com. That's a great platform to go to. It's one of my sponsors, okay? And he's offering some really great deals on raw land. Please go there, tell him I sent you, okay? And also www.frawleyfusion.com. I think I want to change my title just a little bit. Tahiry gets triggered and accuses Joe Budden of beating her like a slave. What do you think, guys? Tahiry claims she was beat like Cassie. Big Elvis the chef. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Big Elvis the chef, Rosenberg. I am here, Star.
You dyed your hair and your beard, yes?
Yes, I did, Star. I did that this month, the 5th.
Can you make some adjustments because there's a big glare on top of your head, and just bring there you go. Can you bring your camera down a little bit so we can get you right in the center? There you go. Good to see you, sir.
Big Elvis the chef. I'm here, Star. I'm energized. Great show. Rob Lowe, great comments. You know, he's reminded me of those Harlem times. You know, I know all about that.
Okay.
And Tahiry, I remember when she worked in these spots and was a terror. That's what I remember. I remember she was a terror. And let me say I'm riding with Joe Buttons because this is the past. Let's not turn what's going on with Diddy into.
There's no S. There's no S on the end of his name. Budden.
Button, like a button in my shirt, right?
Budden. Budden, not buttons.
Not buttons. Button. Like budding in or bud that you smoke. Right. Okay, good. I'm riding with him. And I think that people like Tahiry looks for any opportunity to be triggered. Her triggering and all the stuff that she's gone through in her life, you know, she has a long list of triggers. She's probably triggered 14 times a week, a woman like that. So I'm not impressed by her or her sadness or her mental health or anything like that. I know that she's a real tough New York chick that if you ain't putting your foot in her ass, she ain't happy. Allegedly. Sorry. I didn't.
Now, hang on. Do you have any firsthand knowledge of this or any interaction with Tahiry? You said that when you first came on that she had, what was the word you used? What's the word you used?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You ever met Tahiry?
I have. Yes, of course. I have. If you're from Harlem and you remember those times over there, up there where Jimmy is at, you know Tahiry. She was the person, she was walking around with a camcorder, and it was very weird. I remember back in the day, she was like ahead of her time as far as just videotaping everything.
She was a pioneer. I give her that. Her and Joe Budden both.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember her well. And
Okay.
I'm wrong for saying things that I have no proof of about what kind of a woman needs something. So I definitely take that back, especially on your show.
Let me ask you a real serious question. I know you're a married man. Do you think that Tahiry's got the fire pussy and a lot of niggas just lost themselves and lost control? Thus, they put hands on her. You think Tahiry's had the fire pussy?
No, I think she has just dealt with weak men who came into some money and she knew how to work them. She was her Drea of the time. She was her timing was good. And a lot of these men, they hold candles for these women. They get themselves a little money, then they want to snatch up these women and act like, they pedestalize them. And I would say, absolutely not. It's a weak man, not a strong vagina, that gets that drama going.
You've heard me say before, most males are not men. I've been saying hang on. I've been saying this for decades. Most males are not men,
Right.
I'm not in any way, shape, or form caping for her. I mean, I've taken some hard shots at her over the years, but we've got to be objective about this topic of domestic violence. Hands and feet were put on her. She was put in the hospital back in 2014. Right. You familiar with that story?
Of course. I remember that. I remember the a couple of times there was some issues like that. I don't remember details, but I remember the streets used to be talking about these dramas. This is like before even the internet was big. So, I know that this woman was really famous.
I'm talking about that time in particular. I don't know about other, situations. I mean, unless you have, again, proof, then that's just hearsay. But she was put in the hospital, 2014, sued this guy. I don't know what happened to that lawsuit, Carlos Gonzalez. He pleaded out,
Right.
She said he beat her and she had on a neck brace. Took 8 guys to pull him off of her.
Whoa. Talk about a man and his feminine. Talk about a man who doesn't stand on principles, who's standing on emotions.
Oh, shit.
These emotional men, they have no self-control, and they allow the women to really set this theme of how it's going to be and how it's going to go, instead of standing on some principles and just don't accept the BS. A lot of these men, they don't have fathers, so they never had a chance to, have somebody tell them from early on, whoa, don't do that. And
did Carlos Gonzalez stand on business once upon a time and say, I'm cutting this shit short, and it all stops here right now. And somebody, I don't know if this is the same guy, Charles Suggs, Suggs. There's like 3 names for this person, but Charles Suggs pled guilty to assault for the brutal attack that left Tahiry in a neck brace, covered with cuts and bruises. Ooh, chow. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I think it's horrible when the violence gets like that. When you with somebody, like you mentioned that I'm a married man, and I met my wife when she was 19 years old. This is a woman who was only with one other man before me. And we, throughout the last 21 years, we've had our dramas. We've had our situations, but nothing where I am losing, I am out of control, and trying to push that fear and that aggressive, because I'm an aggressive guy, but I'm not going to do that to my wife. I'm not going to push that fear of, like, if you say another word, I'm going to take your head off. Even though there are times where it has gotten like a little bit ugly, but never physical like that, where I'm going to jail. I am having the cops called, neighbors called. Never has that happened to me. And these men, they stay in these same relationships where they putting their hands and feet on these women. They're stomping these women out. And they're seeking this style of woman that's going to accept that.
Question. Are you more accepting of the bullshit? Because a couple of weeks ago or months ago, didn't you say that your wife befriended someone?
Right.
Hang on.
Right.
She befriended some guy at work. And how did you find out about this again? Through the phone or something?
No, it wasn't at work. It was because, I'm a nomad, so I live in hotels. And this was the concierge breakfast. This was a guy. I don't get up for the breakfast. This was the guy. She gets up for the breakfast. The kids go to breakfast, and she mingles and makes friends with the people there. Normally, 99.9% is these old ladies. And out of nowhere, she's telling me about this cool guy that she met. And I was just like, whoa. And then I asked my son, I said, yo, your mom is over there in the morning. Who she's having breakfast with? And she said, well, yesterday she was talking to that guy. And it just,
Elvis, that's a violation, my nigga.
It is a violation. And I know that every 4 or 5 years, I got to put my foot down, not on her ass, but I got to, sometimes I think women, they like to see that you're going to check their asses, to some degree. So, I had to check her and we got past it.
Breakfast with a random nigga. Hey man, hold on a second. I want you to tell the audience why'd you dye your hair and your beard and mustache? Can you just give us a little insight? What's going on?
Change is good, Star. And I thought about it and I just did it. It wasn't something that I've always wanted to do. I'm not one of those kind of people. I don't contemplate things long. I pull the trigger. I take risk. I get it going. And the reality of it is I make this look real good. And that's a fact. And I'm wolfed out. Haven't gotten a trim in 3 months. So if I was one of those people that primped had to be beautiful and all that kind of stuff, it would look different. But I'm not that guy. Forget about it.
Okay.
Okay. Can I plug my show?
Absolutely. Please. Premium Black News on YouTube.
Premium Black News on YouTube. Today, I was at the rally. I was at the Trump rally in Katona Park in the Bronx. Premium Black News with my co-host, Ulrich the Educator. And it went really, really well. We actually got a chance to talk to the woman who made it all possible with her viral videos about the Bronx and people supporting Trump. So it was a really good day. I got about at least 5-6 good interviews. I was using a wireless microphone off of eBay. It wasn't that great. So I got to step up the microphone for the next one. And I will do that. But it was a great show. Premium Black News. The name is all because of the Star Report. That's the reality. And I look forward to people subscribing and checking out the Trump rally in the Bronx. I was there.
Thank you,
Boots on the ground.
Great to talk to you. Salute, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Star. Okay. That's a fact. Boom.
Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg tapping in. Killer, I got your email. Okay. You see, you got to send me this stuff before you start talking about it, Killer, so I can know where you're going. Donald Trump brought out New York rappers Chef G and Sleepy Hollow during his rally in the Bronx. He brought out drill rappers. Trump brought out Chef G and Sleepy Hollow. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll check this out a little bit later. I can't do it right now. Trump bringing out the drill rappers. You see, Trump's a nigga. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, there you go. Let me make sure I cleared out my. Okay, I will check this out later. Okay. Is it Vaughn? Vaughn, thank you for your donation. Okay, Vaughn, send me an email, please. I do consultations. Not that I have all the answers, but send me an email. Someone will send you the rates and the analytics. I always send out my analytics so people can see what's going on behind the scenes here. And, I send the analytics so that when we, if we have a conversation, you can understand that a lot of this is, most of this is based upon research, analytics. Okay. But thank you for your donation. All right. Before I go back to the phone lines, let me just say something with regards to my garden that I'm, working on here in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. I planted 2 lime trees today, and I have been feeding the squirrels. As you know, the squirrels took over the bird houses. They're now squirrel houses, right? And I'm going to show you all of this starting either Sunday or Monday. Just give me some time. One of the little squirrels jumped on my leg today. Caught me by surprise. I didn't jump. I didn't flinch. I just said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Started to come up my leg, wagging the tail. Now, this was, prior to me going to put down the raw, unsalted jumbo nuts in this little bowl that I have for them. I don't want to make contact like that. I don't want to be petting you. I don't want to get that familiar, What is the term? Commitment phobe or commitment phobe, something like that. Yeah, I look at the squirrels. I smoke my cigars. They run amok all throughout the little backyard that I have. And that's it. Let's not start that, Sheesh. I didn't flip out. I just said, hey, get down. And then I gave him one of the little jumbo nuts. He then ran down my leg over to the little fucking area where I just planted the goddamn, the 2 lime trees. And I went back in the little patio and closed the screen door. And I just said, whoa, let's not start that shit. Anybody go through this? Anybody else who's got a garden? Sheesh. Took me back to the classic film Willard. Hold on a second. What year did Willard come out? Was that 71 Willard movie? The original, not the remake. Okay, 1971 Willard. Hold on a second. That's what it made me think of. And then the sequel to Willard was Ben. Michael Jackson sung, the soundtrack song, Ben, the Two of Us. Anyway, so Willard was a 1971 horror film, okay? Willard was a social misfit. And he developed a relationship with rats at his home. He starts playing with the rats. Him and the rats become friends, and eventually the rats killed him. Anybody go back that far? Do you know this film, Willard? I'll put this in the live chat in case you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I thought about the film Willard. I said, whoa, come on. I don't want to, there's the link. I don't want to be, I ain't on that type of time with you. Eat the goddamn food. And listen, I feed them well. Not every day. I put down Brazilian nuts, pecans. Everything is unsalted. They don't like salted anything, all right? I'll keep you up to speed. I had to say all of that anyway. Let me go to area code 908. Good evening. This is a Chatty Patty special. Tahiry got triggered, making claims about Joe Budden. Are you up to speed? 908.
Elvis is a Barbie girl in a Barbie's world. He likes to call Star while he's in his car. Elvis, Barbie. That's his car. I had nothing to say. I had nothing to call it.
Sing that again, but a little louder. Come closer to the phone.
Elvis is a Barbie's girl in a Barbie's world.
He likes the car star while he's in his car.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Salute. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You see, I got time for the bullshit. Rob Lowe sends in a donation. I'm starting to think that Brooklyn Kennedy is Brooklyn Giggles prank calling ass. Brooklyn Giggles is a good guy, man, but that thing just threw me for a loop. You know, the other night, and we edited that part out. I don't want to, you know, I don't go back and forth with people. It's a good guy, Brooklyn Giggles. Got a donation here from Eddie. Eddie, thank you for the. Okay, he says Diddy sent the squirrel star. Oh, that was cute. Squirrel caught me off guard, man. It weirded me out. I'm like, whoa. You know? Okay, Thursday, late night tea sipper special. Okay. Has anybody done a real deep dive on their YouTube platform and you want to call in and promote your platform? Please just reach out via email, okay? I enjoy promoting a lot of you younger content creators. I also wanted to mention that I am looking for someone to assist me with regards to creating timestamps for the shows after the show finishes rendering the file. If you want to create a timestamp that I can pin to the top of the comments, in exchange, I will promote your platform. Okay, just reach out via email. Where's my email address? Hold on a second. Or if you already have it, just reach out and we can work out something. I'm sure. Okay. Deeds does it as well, but Deeds is kind of swamped with something right now. Okay. All right. There's my email address on the screen. If you have time to assist with the timestamps after the show renders, so it's going to be a couple of hours. You can't do it right after the show ends because when that file, finishes rendering, the timestamps will be different. Okay. So reach out via email if you're interested. Penelope, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. I don't know Tahiry's full history like that. Again, I just pulled some notes on her. Born in 1979, according to Wikipedia. Born 2 days after me. I'm May 3rd. She's May 5th. For those who care about zodiac signs, yada yada yada. But she's Dominican. Okay. Is Tahiry a mother? That I don't know. Troll babies, is Tahiry a mother? Is she dealing with leftover issues pertaining to her and Joe not having a family? And correct me if I'm wrong, did Joe propose to her on Love and Hip Hop, guys? And she said no? I know something went down like that on that show, but again, I wasn't an avid watcher. Let me just look in the live chat real quick. Oh, okay. So she's got no kids. So, okay. Well, that could mean a few things. Is she not wifey material? Maybe she doesn't want to get married. Hell, I don't want to get married. I was having that discussion today with my girlfriend Asia. You guys know Asia, right? Anybody in the live chat not know who my girlfriend Asia is? She's the best girl in the world. She doesn't talk. I talk to her though. Anybody know who Asia is? Or okay. Okay, most of you guys know who Asia is. Yes. Hold on a second. Where is she? Asia. There she is right there. Okay. She's a mannequin head. I practice on her because I will get a artificial life form, a synthetic life form, and that will be my wife. I don't see myself getting married to a human. I don't see the benefit. Bye.